So here's what we're going to need for today's project. We're going to use the Sublimation metal plates, and these are 8 by 10, and I got them from Amazon. I got a pack of 10, and if you're interested, I'll leave them in the link below. So the white side is the side that we sublimate on, and we're also going to need craft butcher paper, sublimation paper, rubbing alcohol or a lint roller, heat resistant tape, heat resistant gloves, and then of course our sublimation printer and sublimation ink. And I am using my Epson ET 2720 that I converted to a sublimation printer. We're going to create our template over in Canva. So we're going to select create, scroll down to custom size. We're going to change pixels to inches. The metal sheets that I'm using are 8 by 10. When you are creating your template, you always want the image to be a tad bit bigger than the sheet that you're going to apply it to, because you want the entire image to be on that metal sheet. So I also am going to do mine as a landscape image versus the portrait. So my width would be 10.2 by 8.2. So we're just doing 0.2 will be big enough to cover the top and the side. And we're going to go ahead and hit create new design. So then this right here is the landscape. We're going to upload the image that we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here. I'm going to use this image. You'll want to go ahead and just stretch the image out to fit on the size that you just created for the template. Then you want to always make sure you go ahead and you hit flip, because you need to always mirror an image when we're going to sublimate it. Next, we are ready to hit share and then download. You want to change the file type to PDF print, which is best for printing. Then we're going to change the color profile to best for professional printing, which is CMYK. And then we're going to select download. We're going to go ahead and save that to our desktop. And we just open the PDF. We're going to hit print. We want to make sure that we are sending it to your sublimation printer. I'm using the ET 2720, and you'll want to make sure that it is actual size. And then I'm doing mine landscape, so I'm going to select landscape. Then we're going to go over here to properties. We're going to leave the document size at 8.5 by 11, because that's the paper I'm using. Then we're going to change paper type to premium presentation paper matte. Quality should always be high. Then we're going to go over to more options. Definitely need to uncheck high speed, because you need it to be just the regular speed, because then it gets more ink on the paper, and that's just the quality you need to do when you sublimate. Then we're going to change this to custom and then hit advanced. I'm going to change it to color controls, color mode, Adobe RGB Gamma 2.2, and then you can adjust your color controls to your liking. I'm going to leave mine as is. Then we're going to select OK, and print. I am using a sublimation paper, and again, this is 8.5 by 11. So we have, this is the A sub. When we place this in the sublimation printer, we're going to go ahead and place it back there. But we are going to make sure that the white is on top. So when it feeds through the printer, it'll print on the white. And then I'll just have to go ahead and hit OK. And we're going to go ahead and let it print. While that prints, we're going to go ahead and preheat our auto heat press. We're going to turn it on, set the temperature to 385 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to set the time for 55 seconds. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take this out, see what it looks like. All right, so this is the super important part that I missed several times. So this is the metal sheet that we're gonna sublimate. So we have the white side and then we have the back side. So obviously you would know to sublimate on the white side, right? All right, so we know that it probably has a film that we'll have to remove, but looking at the back, nowhere did this look like it had any type of film on it, especially if you're not going to sublimate on this side. Why would you have film? I never knew that they had film on this side. So let me go ahead and walk you through. We're going to go ahead and get this ready. If you've had the issues that I have had with doing so many of these, I'll show you. I'll show you all the damage that it had Well, we're gonna talk about this, but let's go ahead and get this ready. We're gonna go ahead and remove the film. Now, nowhere did I ever think, if that is even a sentence, that this side had a film on it. I never would have thought that this side had a film. We're not sublimating on this side. To me, it looks like there's no film. Well, there is. So if you sublimate with this film on, that is when the butcher paper is going to stick to this and not come off. So it took me 4 times of, printing this project, redoing it. I could not figure out for the life of me, and this is really hard to get off too on this side. I couldn't figure out why I kept having the craft paper sticking to the other side. I didn't know if the temperature was too high, the pressure was too high. Maybe I should use parchment paper. So I did one with parchment paper. I mean, you name it, I've done it, you guys. See, it's so difficult to get this side. So let me go ahead and definitely there. Let's just see. We're gonna go ahead and remove this side as well, because this is why it is sticking, because you have a film on it. Otherwise, if you are sublimating and you don't have a film, it should never stick. So if it's sticking, you have film on it. That is a lesson that I learned, so I wanted to definitely share with you because I had to do 4 of these. So if you are looking at this, and then this one has film. So this one has film, this one doesn't. You can see a difference. But, well, you can see that this one's shinier and this one's not. But to me, I still wouldn't have known. The next thing we want to do is we're going to take a paper towel. You can either use rubbing alcohol or you can use a lint roller. I'm going to use rubbing alcohol. We're going to go ahead and just put a little bit on here. And we're gonna go ahead and clean this. You wanna get any debris or anything off of here. Even though it may look clean, a lot of times it isn't. So when you sublimate, any marks that are on there will be permanent. So you just always wanna go over it and just clean it really well. And I've already taped it, and then I realized you guys didn't see any of that. All I did was take my image and I took the white sheet, I placed it right on here to center it. And I was saying that the reason we made it a little bit bigger is so that when we sublimate, this entire image will cover this entire sheet. So that is why you want to make it a little bit bigger. I also took heat resistant tape, and all I did was just put it on each side, all 4 sides. That's it. So now we're ready finally to put it in the heat press. So let's go ahead and do that. You definitely want to use heat resistant gloves because it does get really hot. And we're going to go ahead and just move this over. Let me pull this out a little bit. And we are going to use white craft butcher paper. If you don't and you use parchment paper, you're going to get, let me just really quickly move this so you guys can see it better. So if you guys have not seen any of my previous videos, if when you sublimate, you don't use white craft paper, this is what your mat would look like. Because I didn't do that at first, I used parchment paper, it doesn't absorb the sublimation ink. So it's called a blowout, and this is what it'll look like. So you don't want to do that because this is brand new and now this is all like ugly looking. We're going to go ahead and use white butcher paper. Next, I'm going to grab the image. We're going to go ahead and place this with the image facing upwards. Just center it. And we're going to take another piece of craft paper, which is the butcher craft paper. And we're going to go ahead and place this down. We're going to do 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 55 seconds. It is very hot. So definitely wear your heat resistant gloves. We're gonna go ahead and remove this. We're gonna place it over here. It's probably not hot anymore because I had to move the cameras. It's still warm, but it's not hot. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this over. We're just going to remove the tape. And again, I just did the 4 sides. Let's go ahead, we're gonna flip it over. Wow, you guys. Isn't this amazing? This looks so nice. I am so impressed with this. Something else I want to show you guys. So I'm glad that you can see it. Here you can see like a little bit of, I don't know how to describe that, but it almost looks like, we'll just call it dirt. I don't really know what to call it. But on the other ones, I thought that was something else that I thought was damaged. No, it's not. So all you have to do is take some rubbing alcohol. And this is not debris like that we didn't clean off, because that would be permanent. I really don't know if this is dust. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. But I know that if you take rubbing alcohol, it actually removes whatever that is. I don't know. I'll have to look and see what maybe that is called and then tell you guys. But that, just a little bit of rubbing alcohol cleans this totally off, and it looks amazing, doesn't it? This is so cool. All right, so I figured it out. What we were seeing on the image after sublimating was a powdery substance that happens when you sublimate on metal sheets with a polyester coating. When you heat it at 380 to 400 degrees, that coating can slightly off gas, which leaves that faint cloudy film or powdery look after pressing. So that is good to know. That is totally normal, and we just cleaned it with rubbing alcohol and it was gone. So what do you guys think? Did you know that there was film on the metal sheet side, or did you spend time trying to figure it out just like me? So the good part is that the image always looked really nice on this side. It was just the other side that would have the paper stuck to the metal. But once I realized what was happening, all I had to do was remove the film from the sheet and both of them, and now both sides look amazing. Comment below and let me know if I was or wasn't the only one sublimating on the film. I would love to know, you guys. But isn't this just amazing? What do you guys think? Look at those colors. Isn't it awesome? Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know. That also helps push my video out into the YouTube world. So bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.